Welcome back, everyone. This is part 2 of the King's Castle. King James, along with a very excitable Mr. Blair Chopin.
Not excitable. I'm just tired of fake injuries. It's been a plot for 30 years, and it's still stupid.
Anyway, as usual, we're breaking down the week of professional wrestling.
Hulk Hogan's patriotism is out. He's injured. He's out for 6 months.
And as I said, I have some news relating to the storyline involving Goldberg. It was revealed on Wrestle Talk News earlier this week that apparently a source for WWE reported to Dave Meltzer and the Wrestling Observer newsletter and said that the Goldberg storyline ends at WrestleMania.
Thank God.
But according to the fans' feedback, the storylines work so well that they're open to using him for big shows in the future. So that might mean that we see the man again come, say, SummerSlam. What do you make of that?
I've had enough. The man lasts about as long in matches as Pete does in bed. We established that last week.
Now wait a minute.
I'm sick of the 20-second matches.
I hate to do this, but I gotta ask you something personal here on the show.
Oh, God.
Why the sudden change of pace? Because as far as I'm concerned, Goldberg was your main guy for like 15 years, wasn't he?
He has, but I mean, I feel like we're all getting played.
I don't.
You're getting main event matches that are 20 seconds long.
Okay.
The guy doesn't show up to work, but
I'll give you
75%
I'll give you the benefit of the doubt as far as one thing is concerned.
It's been a big flop. As
far as one thing is concerned, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. The match at Fastlane could have been booked a little better. But as far as the Survivor Series comeback,
that was a disaster too.
Well, I don't think anybody saw that coming.
Yeah, because the man, what he's doing is stealing money. He's too old to wrestle. He's scared he's going to get hurt. He probably pulls a nut every time he wakes up in the morning because he's old, he's beat up. And that's what happens to former professional wrestlers and football players. But what he's doing is he's exploiting everyone. Everyone got excited for his return. He's stealing money. He's preventing other wrestlers from climbing the ladder. And honestly, I love Goldberg. I love the 90s. It made me very happy. But it's just like, go away.
Well, let me tell you something.
Go away.
You say that about Goldberg and these older guys stealing money. I'll give you a little history lesson. You know who Ricky the Dragon Steamboat is?
I did.
He's 83 years old. His last match was in 2009.
Was it 20 seconds?
No, it lasted.
Okay, then he's not.
It lasted like 5 minutes.
That's a decent match.
But the thing of it is, the man was 75 years old.
I don't care about age. It's about ability. I'm not ageist. I'm telling you, if you can only wrestle 20 seconds, and you constantly have injury problems, and you're getting paid millions of dollars, maybe you should move on. Is Stone Cold Steve Austin still wrestling? No, because his health can't do it. Mick Foley's not still wrestling. All these guys who have suffered,
on the other hand,
they're not stealing money because they have respect for
the other hand, Goldberg has also been out of the ring for 12 years, except for coming back at Survivor Series and all this time.
So what?
So he has 12 years of rest.
Then don't come back.
You know, Ric Flair once said that a wrestler's worst enemy is time off. And I think that couldn't be more true. Because
Ric Flair has no integrity.
Goldberg made himself vulnerable by doing all those headbutts.
James, there's a reason that Goldberg hasn't been back in 12 years. He's had money.
Because he's sick of it. Because he was sick of the business.
No, don't get it twisted. All this shit about, I want to wrestle for my kids. I want my kids to... Bull crap. He knew for 12 years that if he got out there, he would embarrass himself. And now, they threw too much money at him. And guess what? He's still embarrassing himself in my book. It's pathetic.
So you think...
And if he needs
think by him embarrassing himself, he's become kind of an anti-hero?
No. I don't think it will be a footnote in his legacy. It's kind of a Jordan going back to the Wizards kind of thing. But, it's disappointing. I expected more. So if you're going to build up this Herculean return and you're back to kick everyone's ass, be able to wrestle for more than 30 seconds.
So let me ask you a question. On the other hand, we know that the Goldberg deal that we have now ends at WrestleMania.
Thank goodness.
But we also know that the plan is for Brock Lesnar to wrestle more continuously.
No, get him out too.
But my question is, how much further can they go with him? I mean,
both these guys are very limited, right? And that's what makes the thing at WrestleMania so worrisome. I know people are excited. You have these two animalistic kind of figures. They both can barely speak. They both eat people whole, and it's very exciting. But they both have Brock Lesnar has about 2 moves. Goldberg can't wrestle for more than 30 seconds. There's only so much you can do with that. Unless they have other wrestlers to carry them significantly.
Okay.
And I think, like, having both these guys around, the WWE, I just think, like get all the old guys out of there. Get all the old guys out of there. See what you have. I would much rather, at this point, see Finn Balor and Seth Rollins in a pay-per-view than Goldberg and Brock Lesnar.
Right.
But these guys have cachet because they're from their golden era and everything.
Exactly. Sort of that. You know how you were talking before about that Attitude Era nostalgia that brought back the Dudley Boys,
right?
And all that jazz. Well, I think the return of people like Goldberg and Lesnar has brought back some of that ruthless aggression era nostalgia.
Yeah, but like, it's still nostalgic because they're not bringing it back. They're wrestling for 30 seconds and they're pulling a groin while they do it.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not the same era. These guys aren't the same people, and that's okay. That's how Father Time works.
But let me ask you a genuine, honest question here. Let's just say hypothetically. Hypothetically, the match with Goldberg and Lesnar coming up at WrestleMania lasts, say, 10 minutes. Because they know it's a pay-per-view, so they're trying to build the match as much as they can and get a reaction. If the match lasts 10 minutes, would you be willing to eat your words live on camera?
No, it depends on how. We've seen Goldberg wrestle long matches, and these guys wrestle long matches before. Half the time they're doing their entrance, going out to the ring, and the other half of the time they're on the ground, staring at the ceiling, looking like this, because they don't have any moves. So if it's 10 minutes of nothing, it doesn't matter to me. That's 10 minutes.
Okay. Then, in your opinion, what would it take to get you to eat your words on camera?
Well,
if you were a fan.
Well, at this point, it's no go. Like, I think the whole thing's been colossally disappointing, and then putting out a decent product at WrestleMania is not going to change my opinion.
Well, we do understand.
I still think their whole business model of bringing back old acts who can't perform very well, is a flawed business model.
Well, we do understand that next week in Philadelphia, Goldberg and Brock Lesnar will come face to face one final time. So that might lead to something, but I don't know. But anyway,
this is what I don't get. If you're the WWE, you have no competition at all. There's no need to keep bringing back, even if you have losses for a year or two. There's no need to keep bringing back these old wrestlers who they're kind of breaking down a bit and forcing them out there instead of pushing forward all these young guys with promise. Like, at what point we've been talking about this for 3 years now.
Yeah.
And like, I'm sorry, but you can't be a thriving business in the present and have a business model based on nostalgia.
All right, but let me ask you a question.
Or at least have the nostalgia out there.
Let me ask you a question. Remember a few years ago when they brought back The Rock and made him the champion?
Yes, that was stupid.
No, it wasn't. It was genius. You know why?
No, it wasn't genius.
Because people loved the fact that the John Cena Rock storyline was built over a year, and then the fact that they had a rematch at the following WrestleMania with the championship on the line made it even better.
But where did that Rock storyline get them now? As opposed to having a young guy. This is what I'm saying. Having The Rock there, it's a short-term game. Having Goldberg there, it's a short-term game. Having Finn Balor or Seth Rollins in a title match, that's something that could pay dividends for 5 to 10 years. Because you're establishing them as megastars instead of just having a quick fix.
Well then, if that were the case...
This is a long-term process because they don't have competition.
if that were the case, then why would you put so many of your guys in so many big profile matches? Because by doing that, you're subjecting them to injury. I mean, look at
no,
what
you're
happened.
not. James, come on. That's come on.
Look at what happened.
Stop it.
Look at what happened at SummerSlam last year.
Stop it.
Finn Balor got injured in the match with Kevin Owens.
No one gets injured. Stop with the injuries. All right, so that's like saying you never want to drive a car because you could be in an accident. If you get out of the wrestling, there's a chance you're going to get injured. That doesn't mean you just throw old geezers out there to protect the youngins. Right?
I never said that. I said maybe they shouldn't put so many of their big stars in dangerous matches on a regular basis.
Then what the hell's the alternative? Have them play chess in the middle of the ring? Like this is what the sport is.
No, the alternative is do what they've been doing before, in the sense that they've only had a title match like every 30 days. Because
I agree with that.
By doing that, they save their energy, and the pay-per-view matches can get better.
I can see your point there.
But
it's good to put less strain on the big guys' bodies, but that doesn't save the main point. Is why are the title matches every 30 days between old farts, so you don't have like who you can't do anything with in like a year or 2 years, and who only show up like 2 times a year.
Well, that is true. You got me there.
Like I think there's much more room for growth for me to have Seth Rollins, Finn Balor, those kind of guys win the title at WrestleMania than there is for Brock Lesnar.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So we're just going to have to see how that plays out. But anyway, when we come back, we're going to switch gears and talk about the SmackDown side of the WrestleMania card, so stay right there.